Warning, this video will contain spoilers for the Backrooms movie. If you haven't seen the movie, then please click off the video and come back later after you've seen it. Thank you. And now, right on to the video.
What's up, guys? It's Declan, and today I wanted to make my review of the Backrooms movie. So, finally, making a review video. I was going to do one on Game Overs, but I didn't. I'm sorry. But this is our first review since almost a year ago, I think. I think my last one was Secret of the Mimic, I think. I don't know. Anyway, I really wanted to do a review of this movie because it was very good. I really enjoyed it. Just want to talk about positives, negatives, recap the story as well, because that's kind of how I review it, just recap the story and talk about stuff. But, yeah, we'll just jump right into it. So, starting off the movie, we have, this dude in the Backrooms. I think it's one of the scientists Among Us looking people. So, yeah, he's just exploring around. Eventually, he tries signaling, help. Like, he needs help trying to get out of the Backrooms, and he's panicking. And I hate to admit it, but I got jump scared, because, as he's trying to signal for help, a pigeon gets thrown on the ground. And then it flies away, and that, for some reason, was the scariest part of the movie to me. But, anyway. So this dude is trying to get out, but then he is stomping, so then he runs for his life, and he makes it to a room full of clouds, and there's no escape, and he is killed off camera. That is another thing. It was a great opening, very cool, very scary as well, with the VHS camera and stuff. Great opening to the movie. I really enjoyed it. But anyway, cut to present day. We meet our protagonist, Clark, and Clark's not doing too good. He's meeting with his therapist, Mary, and he talks to her about his issues and how he wanted to be an architect, but he just never was able to, so instead he's just a furniture store manager. And he talks about how his wife divorced him and stuff, and how he's upset by it, and then he just calls her, out of nowhere, he just calls his ex-wife a effing fat B-word who just sits on her butt all day. It was out of nowhere. It really caught me off guard. Wasn't fun. Well, I mean, it just came out of nowhere. But, so yeah, Mary's, like, role-playing with him, I guess, and not in that sense, but in the way where she's talking to him. She's pretending to be his ex-wife, and he's just letting out his frustrations about it and stuff. But yeah, so, yeah, like I said, Clark has a, furniture store called, like, I forgot the name of the store. It's like a pirate-themed furniture store, though. And he made, like, a commercial about it where he dresses up as, like, a pirate. Because, you know, it's a pirate store. Yeah, he made a commercial for it. But, he also has two workers, Kat and Bobby. I think the other dude's name is. Don't call me on Bobby, but I know Kat is her name. So yeah, just straight off the bat, the furniture store is not doing that well. It's doing pretty bad, actually. And also, the lights aren't working, so he calls a technician to check it out. And they notice a switch. There's, like, a special switch on this, like, circuit board that's not supposed to be there. So, they turn it on and off, and for some reason, it doesn't do anything. So, they don't think much about it. And then, we'll talk about Mary a little bit. So, Mary's a very interesting character. We get flashbacks throughout the movie of her when she was younger, in a boarded-up house with presumably her mother, and we don't know why. They don't exactly say why, but it's implied later that it eventually became a part of the Backrooms, which we'll touch more on that later. So anyway, back to Clark. He's just watching TV, and he, like, notices a room, like, on the TV, little detail, it's the Backrooms, and he also notices that the lights in the basement of the furniture store are going off, so he goes down to the basement, and, the lights are just on for some reason. So he explores a bit, he tries turning it off, and he does, but then he notices light coming from the wall. So he investigates, and that's how he gets to the back rooms. He finds the back rooms. And instead of doing the rational thing, which is just forgetting about it, he explores it. Which I did hear someone say that it could be because he's an architect, and the back room is very, let's be honest, it's rooms and stuff, architecture and stuff, which cool detail, really cool detail, and it explains why he wanted to explore it. But yeah, he explores it for a bit, finds a bunch of rooms and lots of doorways. He finds this cutout which speaks like a different language. I think it's Japanese. Don't quote me on that. I'm sorry if it isn't, but I'm pretty sure it is. So yeah, he also finds a bag full of someone's stuff. I think it was the white kid from the beginning who was killed. It's probably his stuff. But anyway, he hears rapid footsteps, so he gets out of the back rooms. And yeah, so the next day he tells Mary about it, and she thinks he's crazy, which, I mean, yeah, I feel like anyone would think he's crazy. So he says, I'm gonna get evidence. I'm gonna get evidence of it, and so he gets his workers, Bobby and Kat. He asks them to come with him to the back rooms, and we get more of the VHS style. We get more of the VHS style with the camera and video and stuff, which I really wish was used more throughout the movie. It's only used in the beginning intro, and then that part, and then nothing else with it. It just kind of sucks. I don't know. It's definitely some of the best parts of the movie. So anyway, Clark shows them the back rooms, and they're both like, what the I'm not gonna say it, you know what they say. What the flip? And so they explore for a bit. They also they tie a rope to Bobby, and they send him down this little steep area where there's a bunch of clothes. Lots of clothes everywhere. Now, I did see someone say that these could be the clothes of past victims of the entities, which they probably were. I don't know why, but when I was watching it, I just thought they were clothes for some reason. You also see the dead pigeon from earlier, not in this scene, it was like an earlier scene, but so anyway, Bobby's like investigating, then he hears a roar and some banging noises, which is the entity. So he's like, lift me up, and they lift him up, and I will say, Kane did get me here. I actually thought he was gonna get out, because he actually got to the top, but then the entity starts pulling him down, and pulls Bobby down, and then Clark and Kat both then fall down, and Bobby's dragged off camera. There's a blood trail too, and he is killed by the entity. We don't see what happens to him. In fact, I will say, there are more deaths later. Spoiler alert. Yeah, Kat goes looking for him, and Clark's left alone with the camera. And, yeah. So, I will say, spoiler alert. Well, this is a spoiler review, I mean. There are more deaths later on, and the gore and the blood in this movie is not as bad, is not as crazy as I thought it'd be. It's, like, not as gory or bloody as I thought it'd be. Like, I'm very shocked this movie didn't get, like, a PG-13 rating, kind of, because it's not the worst thing, but, you know, I just wanted to mention that. So, anyway, Clark investigates a bit more. Eventually, he finds a Christmas tree. Nice Christmas tree. There's a Christmas tree. And then, this entity, which is called a life form entity, we'll talk about them later, starts walking towards him really goofy, and he runs, and, eventually he comes across a room where he hears Kat on the other side of something, and I thought it was gonna be a twist where it's like a clone of it or something, but I don't think it is. I don't know. Anyway, he puts down the camera, and then something picks up that camera, the entity, the entity, yeah. So anyway, cut back to Mary. She's like, I'm gonna go to the furniture store. I'm gonna go see if he was right about this. So she does. She goes in the furniture store and she finds the Backrooms. And she explores them for a little bit. And then eventually she finds this drawing on the wall. It's like of a bunch of eyes and symbols and stuff. And yeah. And then Clark's back. Yeah. We haven't seen him for the past 20, 30 minutes. He's just kind of... I assumed he was dead. He's not, though. And she's like, what is this? And he's like, shh. Yeah, he shushes her, and then something starts to come, but he chokes her out, and she passes out. That's when we find out about Mary's home probably being, like, recreated in the Backrooms. Get more on that later. But anyway, Mary wakes up, and she's in a weird-looking kitchen room. Clark is sitting, and there's half-life entities. These type of entities that are clones of people from the real world. Like, as Clark puts it, trying to remember the people of the world. And that's what the whole Backrooms is trying to do. It's kind of trying to recreate things from the real world, I think, is what they're trying to get through with this movie. Yeah. But, Clark then takes a knife and stabs the belly of one of them, this beard guy. And then takes his stuff and puts it on a, plate and then thinks we're gonna eat it. We're not eating it. No, that's nasty. Yeah, for some reason there's a random beard guy and a, wheelchair guy, even though the redhead one, which, spoiler alert, I'll explain to you why the redhead one is important. They're just two randoms. I don't really know why they're here, but, you know, sure. Also, Clark opens the fridge, and, Kat's head is in there. We don't know what happened to her. It was probably the entity who did that to her, but I don't know. It might have been Clark, but I don't know. So anyway, Mary's like, what is happening? And Clark just, like, talks to her and talks to her about how he is fine with being in the Backrooms. He just goes completely off the walls. It's a complete switch up, which I wish they built up more. It kind of just is, he's normal. Well, it's not totally normal for like a minute, and then when he's gone, he just goes cuckoo. So yeah. He then takes the hair of the redhead still life. He scalps her and puts the hair on Mary. And that's where I should reveal that the redhead still life is a copy of Clark's wife. It's definitely a copy of her. And he starts trying to recreate their little roleplay sessions that he had with Mary, because he put the hair of his, like, the clone of his wife on Mary, and it's just, it's really gross. It's a really gross scene, but really, really well written. It just shows how Clark is just so effed up and how he's just completely gone off the walls. He's a very interesting character. I like him a lot with his depth into madness. So May just eventually calls him out. Just calls him, he whines about everything and stuff. And he somewhat realizes the wrong he's done. He is then gonna let Mary go because he tied her up and stuff. So he does start to do that, but that's when the half-life of his wife starts running and just starts banging on the walls trying to get away from something. And that is when the entity, the big bad entity, Bacteria, comes in. Oh wait, it's not Bacteria? Oh. Yeah, Bacteria is not in this movie. Neither are any of the original entities in this movie. Which is fine, but, you know, can't see my boy Bacteria, which kind of sucks. But, so anyway, we get the reveal of the entity, the thing that's been killing people, hunting everyone down, and that is Captain Clark. Yeah, it's Clark when he dressed up as a pirate, and it's Captain Clark. I really like Captain Clerk. I think he's awesome. He's an awesome looking design. I really wish we saw more of him in the movie as like actually appearing on screen. But the time he shows is really cool. He's a little goofy looking, but I think he's more supposed to be more uncanny than like actually full on scary. He's just more uncanny and just makes you uncomfortable, and he is intimidating, very intimidating. So I really like him. Um, Also, the actor who plays him is like 7 feet tall and is like, apparently he's all practical effects, no CGI. Which, respect to Kane, that's awesome. Really well done on that, really cool. So anyway, Clark goes up and hugs Captain Clark. He's like, we don't have to change. And then Captain Clark just bites Clark's neck. Just bites him and it blood everywhere. It's freaking brutal. Which I think the reason why it hasn't been as brutal and bloody leading up to the climax of the movie was probably because they were saving that for the scene where he bites Clark. Yeah, it's really brutal and sick, and I think when the Captain Clark's a huge threat. When the other still lifes are actually terrified of him, so that's just saying something. Especially, the still life of his ex-wife, which I think the reason why she was banging on the walls trying to get away from him is a representation of like maybe Clark was abusive during his relationship with his ex-wife. It wasn't just him being a drunk, but he actually would abuse her and stuff, which is really dark, but really well represented if that is true, with her trying to get away from Captain Clark. And speaking of representation, Captain Clark is supposed to be a representation, I'm pretty sure, of all of Clark's anger, depression built up into this beast and stuff, and that's really cool. I will say, even though I'm sad we didn't get to see Bacteria, and we'll probably never see Bacteria considering the whole different feel with what they're going with the Backrooms with the entities, I still think it's cool what they did with Captain Clark. I really do think he's a good substitute. So anyway, Mary just runs, gets away, and then we see a bunch of houses and stuff, and she tries to run. We get a final chase with Captain Clark, and as he's chasing it, he is dragging Clark's dead body. It is disgusting and brutal. But yeah, it's crazy. They killed Clark, which is just crazy. But yeah, they killed the protagonist, which people say they feel bad for Clark. He brought it upon himself. I mean, I kind of feel bad for him, but just not really. But anyway, Mary escapes into this room with a giant, like, lots of light levels and a staircase. If you fall down, you're cooked. But she escapes Clark and then Captain Clark, and she makes it back to the furniture store. And she's like looking around, and she tries to escape, but yeah, the furniture store is just a recreation in the Backrooms. That's not the real one. And yeah, Captain Clark eventually catches up to her, and she defends herself, which, let's go, Mary, come on now. She takes this, like, wooden thing and breaks one of his peg legs off. He starts limping just like her. And she sees a hole in the wall, so she tries to escape, but Captain Clark gets on top of her, and using this cement handprint, which I forgot to mention that, before her house was destroyed, there's like a handprint she made with her mother. She takes that, starts smashing his head in, and it's just pretty bloody and brutal, and, go Mary. Eventually, tear gas starts going off everywhere. It does escape Clark. She does actually escape Captain Clark, and, she makes it to the other side, which she sees the Among Us people, the scientists, and they, like, save her, and then bring her back to the real world, which is, like, a giant facility and stuff. So, anyway, the government, like, I'm pretty sure it's the government, or the company exploring the Backrooms, takes her in, and this Phil guy, who shows up sometimes throughout the film, asks her questions about why was she in there, was she looking for this Clark dude, and she's just out of it, and she's just tired of everything, which I don't blame her. If I went through that, I would be terrified too. So anyway, we then cut back to the Backrooms, which shows a half-life version of Mary, which that's the whole goal of the Backrooms. She's trying to recreate the real world and people and stuff. Yeah, that is what the movie was about. The recap. So positives, negatives. I really enjoyed it. I think a big negative I have though is that it's a really slow start. It is definitely a slow build type of movie where everything does not happen immediately. It's like a slow build. The last 30 minutes were awesome. But yeah, I really do like the cinematography. There are some awesome shots in this movie. Really cool shots. And I really like the still life designs. I think they're sick. I love Captain Clark. He's an awesome looking antagonist. I like the characters too. The actors also did really great. The dude who played Captain Clark was great. The actors for Mary and Clark were also really good. So shout out to them. Really good film. Really awesome. I do wish it was a bit more scary and gory, but that is more of a psychological thriller type of thing, which I can respect a lot. Yeah, I'm really proud of Kane Person. I think he did really good on this movie. I really hope we get a sequel. I will definitely be seeing that. But yeah, my biggest issue is just the slow start to it, but it gradually builds upon itself, and it's cool. So I do like it. But yeah, that's gonna have to do it for this video. Really did enjoy the Backrooms. Thought it was very fun, very well made, and I really want to see a sequel. And I'm glad we finally got to see this movie. So, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more content. Be sure to comment down below what did you think of the Backrooms movie, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.